Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da, bum. We are live, April 3, Monday. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend, and we are back. Short week. Real slow day. Real slow day. One of those days where you had just the one big algo sell program. Just ramped it up. I think we talked about it on Friday. We'd have some follow through buying today, and we definitely did. We popped right before the open, got up to about 41.50, and then had a big sell program, good for 30 points on the SPX. Kind of retraced that about 20%, then chopped around the rest of the day. And then power hour came in hot, and we closed basically shortly where we opened, a little bit lower than where we opened. Just a classic fuckery day. So I do want to talk about a couple stocks in particular. Let's see. Let's see if this works again. Close that. Open this. I want to talk about NVDA because I'm telling you, just one of these days, it's just gonna go. There we go. I'll make this a little smaller in a second here so you can see my beautiful face. There we go. All right. Actually, I forgot to chart this for us. Let's see. I mean, just, dear Lord. Basically, where I'm looking at this thing is right now we're at 280, 279.76, and this thing has been trying, we'll call it 1, 2 rejections, 3 days down. Rally back up, and then I'd call this one a rejection. This one was solid. They tried to reject it today, but it held. Could this be the breakout I've been talking about? 295 is the August or March of 2022 high. 289.46. 289.46. I am expecting it to test this area here in short order. I mean, look at this thing. It fucking wants it. You see this congested area here in March? That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm focused at. Kind of like a little mini head and shoulder here. It's above the shoulder line now. Man, I call it 283. If it gets 284 tomorrow early, it kisses 290. I'm sure of it. I am sure of it. And again, look at this fucking thing. Just incredible looking stock. I only have the daily moving averages up here. Let's just see what this produces. It's about good. Okay. That's interesting. And then we'll do another one from... I mean, that was basically the move, though. We'll do this and just kind of see what we produce. Pretty clean stuff here. Pretty clean stuff. Pretty clean stuff. Nice little ramp there. I mean, there you go. 290.71. These are Fibonacci retracements. Retracements and extensions. I like them for bigger moves. I mean, I guess there's a lot of respect for this one here. I mean, these are all support and resistance lines based on this all-time high move to this recent low in October last year. I mean, that's one retracement, and I mean, look at this thing. Yeah, old resistance. Got tanked through support here in April. We had that big sell-off. Respected this. I mean, is it a perfect science? No, no charts are. And charts get busted by news anyway, so this is just, take it with a grain of salt. But I'm liking where we're at here. All I need is one pop to 290. And if it gets to like 292, I don't see why 300 doesn't get tested. And no, it's not in the fibs, but kind of look at our congested areas over here. If I had a Interactive Brokers doesn't have it, which is pretty trashy, but if they had volume profiles, I can assure you that like this area would be fucking heavy. Be heavy here. I mean, I bet we're up against one right now. I'll take a look. I don't have TradingView, but I know TradingView has it. All right, but that's NVIDIA. And again, I think NVIDIA is, people can say it's overvalued like crazy. And, so is 90% of the market. So you can fight the big dogs or you can join them. I don't think it's overvalued. I do, but I'll take this overvalue over, Tesla's overvaluation any day of the week because, let's get into it. I think NVIDIA obviously is at the forefront of AI, which seems to be rapidly cruising along here. ChatGPT is being integrated into everything. The amount of computing power that's going to need when it actually takes hold in a lot of these industries is going to be massive. And again, I think NVIDIA is one of the biggest benefactors of that. I've been saying this for $120 now. When did we start talking about it? In January, I think, right? I gotta look back. I think we were talking about in January is $170. Now it's $270, and that whole way up, everybody was saying it's already overvalued, and they're calling for $100. Nope, it went the other way, $100. I think NVIDIA is set to be. What's the current market cap on it? 690 billion. The all-time high was probably, what's that, another percentage? That's another $80, 30. I mean, if this goes back to all-time highs, it sniffs out $1 trillion valuation. And, I don't see a problem with it. Trillion's the new billion, For fuck's sake, they have so many shares outstanding. 2.4 billion with 8 billion authorized. I mean, we'll see. I could be right, I could be wrong. But I think I'm right because, again, I don't think anybody really knows the true value of the stimulus that will be AI chips. Cloud chips, because you're going to need them all for ChatGPT to be in Fortune 500 companies and be used internally and replacing jobs and stuff. I mean, we'll see. This is going to be ever since that presentation, what was that? Last month, was it? That presentation was just unreal. So if half of that shit comes true and starts showing up in Q1, this thing flies. Which then brings me back to Tesla. Let's throw this dog shit chart up. I like Musk. I don't hate, but I think Tesla's pretty poorly. It's sitting in a terrible spot. mean, this was all just nonsense. High of 415, currently at 194. Came really close to missing sales targets, even with their massive price cuts. And now they're producing more than they're selling by quite a bit, which is just going to increase their inventory levels and crush their margins even more. To be honest, I'd be surprised if the thing sniffs 250 anytime soon. I would actually say it hits 150. Well, let's make it even. It's 194 now. I bet it loses $50 before it gains $50, and it'll gain $50 from a way lower level. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing takes out 100 again. It really, truly is a car company. It is, and people keep saying it's not. And then I go, where's the tech? Show me the tech. What, their manufacturing facilities are all automated? Okay, cool. That's it? So it's a manufacturing play? Like, what is it? I'll bring up this graphic for you in a second. I just gotta find it again. Oh, I should probably keep an eye on that, huh? Yellen's talking right now. Great. You should put a gag order on all these people. Look at this. Automated driving systems rated. I've been saying this for the longest time. Waymo is way ahead of Tesla. I didn't realize, and I'm not surprised by it, literally almost every other decent player in the full self-driving space fucking crushes Tesla. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Well, it's not to me. It should be to everybody else. But they're full self. The thing about it, too, is that Tesla is using human beings as their beta testers, whereas these other companies are all closed. Waymo is open now because they actually have a good enough system, but they did years before they did anything remotely close to what Tesla's doing. What Tesla's doing should be illegal. Literally a beta system, and look how many crashes they've had. Even if it's 10, that should be a full recall shutdown of FSD, because it's crystal clear that FSD is the reasoning that some of these cars accelerate into the back of semi trucks and then start on fire. I don't see where the tech is. I just don't. I don't see it. Yeah, they got a cool manufacturing plant. Their new Cybertruck is literally made out of scrap metal. That's the whole point of the truck. That's why it has no curves, because it's literally just flat sheets of metal that is scrapped. And then Elon goes, well, what can we do with it? And he goes, let's design a truck. And then everybody who loves Tesla is like, oh, it's the coolest truck ever. You're literally buying scrap metal. And you're going to pay a fucking hefty premium for it, too. So, that's what I think about Tesla. If you couldn't tell, I'm not a big Tesla guy. I love Elon. I love Twitter. SpaceX is badass. It seems like they need money every 6 months, but what they're doing is incredible. Boring Company is pretty trashy. Don't hear a lot about those tunnels anymore, probably because they're dumb. And they don't have any funding. Remember, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but Rahm Emanuel was the mayor of Chicago. He had a big announcement with Elon that they're going to do, the Boring Company was going to make a tunnel underneath one of our highways, the Kennedy Expressway. It's for people who don't live in Chicago, one of our public trains the blue line. Our public trans system is actually really good, but they wanted to make the boring company was going to come in and go underneath the blue line, which runs in between the highway all the way out to O'Hare International Airport, which would be fucking incredible because you catch that during rush hour and it's probably an hour and a half from the city to O'Hare. But the tunnel, obviously, I think they said it was going to take like 15, 20 minutes. That would be fucking badass. Anyways, they announced that 10 years ago, and there hasn't been a peep about it since. So that should tell you everything you need to know about the boring company. Yeah, SpaceX is cool. Twitter is sweet. I like Elon. I think Tesla is such a cult following. I would be shocked to see them at all-time highs. To be honest, ever again. I just don't see it. And now Elon's making a bunch of enemies, and we all know how that turns out. If you're not in the circle anymore, they'll attack you until you're dead. So, I don't know. Not a Tesla guy. And the other thing is, like, the cars were really cool when they came out. And there's been zero design change. Zero. Not like you're not gonna do anything different. Just same exact car, just smaller and different size. And I don't know. I don't innovate a little bit. FSD blows. Make your cars look a little different. I don't know. That might be a good catalyst, but Cybertruck's not gonna do it. And the reviews on that is gonna be. People are gonna hate those tires. Absolutely hate them. And actually, I think I forget who it was, Gordon Johnson maybe asked the question on, was it Ross Gerber? I forget. Those two, it's funny. I think it was Gerber or Gordon who asked if the Cybertruck can fit in a residential garage. And that's actually a hell of a question that probably nobody has thought about. And I don't think the answer is good. Gerber and Gordon are pretty funny bickerers because Gerber will say something dumb and close-minded, and then Gordon will come back. Actually, that graphic I showed you was off Gordon's response to him. Gordon will just hit him up with like a bunch of facts, and he'll just be crickets from Gerber. That's fitting. That guy's got a lot of time to tweet, considering he's a money manager. That's what happens with Tesla is it created a few it created a few rich dummies, one being Ross Gerber, the other one being Cathie Wood, who have neither of them done literally anything since getting Tesla early, and they were rewarded for all the wrong reasons on that stock. Alright, so I guess I bashed Tesla a little bit too much today, sorry. I'm going to lose all my 5 followers. Just kidding. You stay objective in this market. You have to. You can't play favorites all the time. And if you have been buying Tesla this whole time, all the way up to 400, I mean, you're way off sides. So you just got to keep an open mind, and the amount of competition coming online is insane. It's insane. So just stay objective. There's money to be made everywhere. It doesn't have to be in Tesla. Margins are getting worse on slowing demand. And Tesla is a car company that's worth $615 billion. The other thing is, if at any point they can't sell carbon credits again, it's lights out. Lights out. Lights out. Alright. I think that's it. Bitcoin holding in nice. That's still 27 and change. 27,690. I think it just sold off actually since I've been talking. Yeah, it just took a 300-point digger. What a stable currency, you know. I guess I'd be remiss not to mention crude. Holy hell. You guys catch that? OPEC ran a 1 million barrel cut. It's like they know they have the U.S. by the balls right now, and just what they did was they took the vice and they just ever so slightly turned it a little tighter. It's like they know the back's up against the wall, and now they're going to slowly try to kill us. I mean, they could just go for the kill shot right now, and it'd probably be devastating, but I don't think they're quite set up strategically to take over yet, so it's going to be a slow burn. 1 million barrel cut a day by OPEC. I think I saw some backdoor dealings with Russia and their oil. I mean, they really did. Our leadership really did fail us. And now what's likely going to happen, I mean, crude is up $5 today. It's back at $80. And what's likely going to happen is our fearless leaders will release more of the strategic oil, the strategic petroleum reserve, which is at a 40-year low. And they'll slowly release that until it's fucking zero. And then that's when we get completely fucked if anybody attacks us, because that whole reserve is designed for our military to have enough oil to refine into fuel for our jets and trucks and boats and all the other shit that we would need in case of war. So you drain that to zero, and then what? Then the first thing I would do is hit all of our oil reserves or oil refineries, and it's lights out. You literally ground us before we can even do anything. It's terrifying to think about, and it's just fucking, it's crazy shit. Oh, and they also said that China was definitely spying on our military bases and was live streaming the data back to the homeland. So that's reassuring too. I wonder, I think they did fly over 2 or 3 nuclear sites. So cool. Great job. All right. Try not to get political around here. NVIDIA. Eyes on NVIDIA tomorrow. Could be the breakup we've been looking for. 55. So last time I did this, churned around highs in the 240, and then it opened, and then it finally had a breakout day where it went from 239 to 255 in a day. I'm expecting something similar tomorrow. It is a short week, so be careful. But it's just a matter of time. LRCX, I actually used to love trading this thing, and then it turned into a complete fucking dog for like 6 months, and then the past mid-March on, it's actually moved quite a bit. So I'll put this one back on the radar, but this used to give us like $1 to $5 on the options quite regularly. So we'll see what develops there. Also, they benefit if NVIDIA benefits. But so does Intel. Intel's sneaky. Oh, and then finish up about oil. I just don't. There's one stock that I don't understand it. Buffett owns like 30% of this thing and probably is buying more. Probably bought more today. It's called OXY. What's that? I forget the name. Occidental Petroleum. They just will not rally this thing. They just refuse to do it. It's been a sideways channel since March of 22. High of 75, low of like 54, and it's just been, and right now it's 64, so right in the middle. It's one of those, I just don't understand it. I think their dividend is good. Oil's probably going back to a hundred. 18-cent dividend on 65. What's that good for? 3 and 8ish, 3.8%. No, it's better than a 10-year now. So I don't know, that's a good one to keep an eye on because I think at some point it does break up. And then tomorrow I'll touch on some gold miners. I used to love this one name, and it looks like it's put in a nice long bassy bottom. Let's see. Nope. Newmont. NEM. If gold continues, it's above 2,000. It's holding strong. If it continues, this thing is fucking set. $2. 4.5% div on this one. This is a long-term hold, in my opinion. Right now it's like 48. Lows are like 42, and those are like long-time lows. This thing was $86 last year, with gold $200, $300 lower. So I think upside on NEM is there for the taking, but we'll talk more about that tomorrow. I've kind of rambled now, so hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. Hit me up in the comments if you have questions. Keep an eye on NVDA tomorrow, and let's see what develops with Crude. All right, love you guys. Bye.